what the hell are we doing out here, right? So the Thunder Run is our kickoff event for the GWOT 100. No good monthly initiative is good without a kickoff event that is objectively miserable. That is, in fact, the Thunder Run.
Our goal here tonight is to run as far as we can in 24 hours with the goal of chipping off 100 miles to kick off the GWOT 100. So we decided to call this kickoff event the Thunder Run to pay tribute to the 3rd Infantry Division's famous pushes into Baghdad during the global war on terror. All of the details with the GWOT 100, including this event, we really want to honor military history, and particularly parts of military history that a lot of Americans don't already know. We're unlocking milestones that really honor key places and events and battles that took place during the global war on terror, specifically during Operation Iraqi Freedom.
We wanted to create a patch board and do something a little bit more unique. So we created a 4.1 mile loop where after every loop you get a patch. And that's your way of checking in, putting your patch on the patch board behind me, and then kind of celebrating the multiple PRs that are going on.
Here we are again, pushing ourselves a little more than we thought we could.
My body hurts. Like it hurts. After 12.4 miles only, I'm feeling it. I'm in the pain cave, as they say.
Around midnight is when I started like doing some serious, like I was bargaining with myself.
I was getting into arguments with the weather.
And I think today was about survival. Yesterday and today was literally surviving weather, wind, and then just pushing, everybody's pushing themselves to try to see what they could accomplish in 24 hours.
Woo, that's it, right?
All done.
If I could make that happen every year, I would. Because I feel like that adversity really resonates with this community. And it's like what makes us feel close to each other, that we went through this together.
Thunder Run was a great way to kick it off. I'm a NCO, so I believe, to set example, you got to be the first out the plane. So, get out here and get as many miles as I can to inspire those who are on my team.
I am a 30-year Army veteran. I spent the majority of that time in special operations, 25 years as a Green Beret. When we transition out of the military, you lose everything. You lose your identity, you lose your friends, you lose your team, and it tends to spiral. You give up on some of your physical fitness, and then that makes the mental game even harder. So this grew out of the Taji 100. And what captured my interest was this idea that you had an event that talked about the experience that somebody had while they were deployed, to Iraq. I was an Afghanistan veteran, so I didn't have that exact same experience. But the idea of being on a base for 6 months, 9 months, and you're the monotony of that, and turning to physical fitness to kind of get through some of the hard times when you were downrange. I think we all did it. We really wanted to lean into that idea that there was this idea that we could tell people stories. We could kind of relive some of our story through getting out there and grinding through those 100 miles of the GWOT 100.
My first half marathon was in 2004 when I was in Iraq. So doing this run, these first couple of loops, it had me thinking about that. I've always looked at it as first as an escape, but through that I've actually worked my problems and come to some solutions and kind of eased the tension, so to speak.
Therapeutic, it's just you out there with your music, your thoughts, and sometimes you can work through your problems. Sometimes it's hard. And when life gets hard, I know that I'm just not going to completely fall apart. I can do hard stuff, and that's what I'm doing running.
Over the course of 26 years, I was in several campaigns and knew a lot of people in northern Iraq, and this was to be dedicated and kind of a memoriam for those folks. And so that's what drew me out. I recognize this organization as being more physical centric. to do it with other people that you shared a lot of the same ground with and went through a lot of the same pains with. That's where organizations like this really mean something.
I have 10 screws in this heel, 7 screws in this heel. I've had 3 surgeries on my left heel and 1 on my right. They didn't think I'd ever walk again. And this was prognosis. Once I got back to the U.S., it gave me about a 50% chance. So probably about 2018, a good friend of mine passed away from a drug overdose. We started together, and that's what got me started running. Started doing it for him, and it just kind of kept going. So I kept chasing distance. Now I just kind of do it to tell my story, inspire others that, even if you were given, a bad hand, sometimes just keep moving forward and, good things will happen.
This, in combination with an organization like RWB, I feel like it's so important for our veterans when they come back to have something like this to keep them going.
It's the camaraderie. That's what most veterans miss, the community. It's not all about fitness. It's about, I think, we focus on holistic health. It's being fit mentally, being fit physically, being fit socially, and RWB hits all that.
I don't think people understood kind of the lifestyle that people lived in the military and couldn't really relate to them, on a certain level. So, like I said, until I found Team RWB, I didn't really find my tribe.
I think a lot of people transition from service and they're like, damn, all the cool stuff is over with. That's bullshit. That is total bullshit. I think the best is yet to come.
Until I became a member of Team RWB, did I decide to set really lofty, ambitious goals. The Bataan Memorial Death March, that one was particularly impactful for me because a lot of active duty service members do it, and I never would have considered doing it when I was a service member. And I truly thought I was my fittest then, I was doing the coolest stuff then, and here I am kind of doing the coolest stuff now. I bawled like a baby when I crossed the finish line of Bataan, mostly because there were a bunch of Eagles there, and I was like, man, this is so crazy, because I thought I left my team behind a long time ago when I left the Army. And they were all there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my team, and they're here for me. Oh, it was a big emo moment, but yeah.
I think that is officially the end of the inaugural Thunder Run. I'm sure we all agree that's probably some of the craziest weather. If you've ever done an ultra, I've done a few, that's the craziest weather I've ever seen for an ultra. The fact that you guys did it on a 4-mile loop that also had a stoplight where you just had to sit and get pelted by the wind for probably felt like 10 minutes at times is amazing. Big round of applause for you guys. Guys, that was absolutely amazing. Awesome run. I know we had a couple teams hit 100, hit the 100 miles. We had, I think, is he still here? It wouldn't shock me if he's still out there running. What did you finish with? 114. 114 miles. Woo! Absolutely amazing.
Share your story with someone else and take time to hear someone else's story. Hearing other people's stories and interacting with them and hearing their own personal goals and growth, it brings a joy to that.
Yes, I'm 100% coming back here and doing this shit again. Nobody should feel bad about how they performed. If you're standing here at the end of this thing, you're a badass.
Just the fact that I get out there and kind of enjoy the suck, even now that I'm an old retired guy, but it still it excites me and it's cool to be a part of.